Ishiro-san, how are you doing there?
Takahashi, as I live and breathe.
It's always good to talk to you, my friend.
I know whatever you got is gold.
Right. So, I was thinking, kids are getting all crazy about these comic book movies.
They love them.
Right. And they really like it when their characters are really dark and brooding.
Ooh, the best kind.
So, what I'm thinking is that we take what Christopher Nolan guy's doing, and we get our own DC guy. Now, I don't want this to end up to be like another no retreat, no surrender type situation.
Or Turtles 3.
Right?
Right.
So, we've got a focus group who's going to help us kind of hone this in. Now, we've only got the rights to this one character, so we really got to sell these kids on this character.
Now, is that a lot of kids? Because I'm not good with kids. I'm gonna level with you.
One of them's like my niece.
All right, I should be okay.
Okay. So, Brenda, could you send the focus group in? Yeah, both of them. Hey, kids, how you doing?
Oh, wow.
Gummy bears!
This is a nice office.
Gummy bears!
Okay, listen,
All right.
you got enough sugar, just calm down.
I don't even know if I can calm down. I'm so
Takahashi,
tired.
sit down.
Okay, sit
All right.
your asses on the floor.
Good.
Can
Okay.
I get a water or something?
Thank you.
In a minute. Okay, so kids, you guys like comic book movies, right?
Yeah!
Good. All right. And you like what the new Batman movies, how they're really dark and gritty?
Yeah!
Excellent. How would you like it if that movie, we took all of the yappity yap Christopher Nolan talkity talk character development stuff, cut all that out, shrunk it down to say about 78 minutes.
That sounds amazing!
That's like 3 episodes of Pokemon.
Right. What's a Pokemon?
Oh my god, that's the greatest! There's a Pikachu and there's a Bulbasaur and there's a Charmander and one of them shoots fire out of his mouth.
Takahashi, shut up. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and we know that another thing that you kids really like is old timey westerns, right?
Yeah.
We do?
I
You do, trust me, you do.
My dad likes to watch them.
Grandpa watches
There you
them.
go.
Grandpa
You do.
doesn't
You,
watch
you
them.
could go with your dad.
There you go.
And it would be like a father-son bonding experience.
I'm not a boy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not talking to you, Takahashi. If you don't stop talking, I'm gonna tell your mother you were misbehaving. Okay, so we're gonna make a movie about everyone's favorite DC character.
He-Man!
Yeah, Batman again! Batman in the Old West! Boom, 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 boom!
He-Man!
What?
Hey, kids! It's not Batman or He-Man. Tell them who it is.
Jonah Hex.
Who?
Jonah Hill? The guy from Superbad?
No, not Jonah Hill from Superbad.
Jonah Hill's gonna be Batman?
No,
No, it's not Batman.
You better start working
Listen.
out.
It's.
all right, listen,
I can't
Takahashi,
handle
you and your
kids.
friend here. All I need you to do is fill out those comment cards saying that you would be absolutely willing to see a shortened Christopher Nolan DC movie starring Jonah Hex. And then once you do that, that's when the money rolls in.
Yay, said it!
Anything for my favorite uncle who gives me gummy bears!
How do you spell cinematic abortion?
Just cross it out and put garbage fire.
Oh, okay.
You want those gummy bears?
Yeah?
And then you're gonna put what I'm telling you to put.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for that water, by the way.
Brenda, can you send in some water and some gummy bears?
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
What's up? What's up? What is up?
Hey everyone.
It's time for another episode of What Were They Thinking?
I'm Nathan.
Didn't even wait for the I'm Brendan. I
You
like
always
it. You're
get
a
to go
go-getter.
first.
I'm sorry.
I
Do
just
you want
want
to intro the next one?
I just entered this one. I'm Nathan.
Okay. And I'm Brendan.
There you go.
You know, to be fair, when I write the when I write the description, I always put your name first.
Okay.
Because I'm a kind soul.
Okay.
But today, this week, we're talking about a very important film in cinematic history. But we could not do this alone, Nathan.
No, we could not.
We could, but it would be more difficult because this movie is short, and I feel like it would be a 10-minute episode. Joining us is returning guests Steve and Izzy from Everything I Learned from Movies.
Woo! Yeah!
Hey,
Hey, kids.
everybody.
I was gonna say you guys can drop your kid voices now.
Jesus Christ. Sorry.
What are you doing?
I was trying to play our intro music.
All right, that'll do. I'm interrupting the national anthem.
Steve and Izzy are here! Okay.
So it begins.
This is, AKA, this episode is the revenge of Steve Condrick. I said your last name on the air.
Oh no! They're gonna.
Why'd you say
Google
that
it.
name?
Russian bots are coming after you. Steve
So would you
and
guys
Izzy-
say that we're repeat offenders on your podcast?
Oh my
Well,
goodness,
let's-
you guys are
let's just-
absolute recidivists.
Let's briefly go over what you've joined us for. Steve was on our King Arthur episode.
Yeah! Still
But
waiting for that
together-
sequel.
Together, we've all done on this show. We did Showgirls
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
and Tammy and the T-Rex,
Yeah.
and I
Heck
believe this
yeah.
is our. So I believe this is number 4.
Yeah.
Number 3
sounds
for
about
Izzy,
right.
number 4 for both of you combined.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
So now we got to get Izzy individual, and it'll all balance out.
You're gonna get me all alone, are you? Get me
Yeah,
away from my
right.
husband.
And we're gonna watch Orca. You like that, baby?
Ooh, it's my favorite movie that has a whale abortion in it.
That is a long list to choose from.
I know.
Surprisingly
and,
long.
You know, I mean, it's hard to pick like a favorite.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
really, it should
Oh.
just be like a top 10. But Orca, I mean, it's the cream, rises to the top.
Oh,
Like a
I was like
aborted
just the
orca.
cream.
You gotta say it like Macho
Aborted
Man.
orca.
Cream rises to the top.
Wow, did you just make the wrestling reference on our show?
He did.
Yeah!
Hey!
It's an honor. Good job, good sir.
Okay,
Making
guys,
a Macho
like,
Man Randy Savage reference like that.
yeah, good
He
on
was a
you.
wrestler? I just know him from the Slim Jim commercials.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
he's a Slim Jim
Spider-Man.
guy, right?
Speaking of Spider-Man, today we're talking about Jonah Hex.
Perfect
And right off the
transition.
bat, just to get us kind of in the mindset of the production of this movie, I want to read a brief thing that Josh Brolin said about making Jonah Hex. He was asked about it. This was a couple years after it was made. He's very subtle, so you'll have to like decipher a meaning behind the words. So he said, "Oh, Jonah Hex, hated it. The experience of making it. That would have been a better movie based on what we did, as opposed to what ended up happening in it, which is going back and reshooting 66 pages in 12 days.
Oh,
my God.
That's painful.
66 minutes. That's at least 66 minutes of like movie in 12 days.
That's almost
That's like
the whole movie.
90% of the movie, yeah.
Yeah, is it
That's
just like
almost the
intro or
entire film.
something?
It's every scene with words.
Yeah, right.
It's every scene that doesn't have the logo.
Or the animated scenes. They didn't reshoot
Right.
those.
Oh, good lord. So, little bit of background. So, Neville, Dean, and Taylor. Who's he?
Yeah!
Is he? No? Okay.
Yeah, no, I was
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
Steve
No,
just.
I was waiting for, who's he?
Who's he, Brendan?
Well, I'll tell you. I don't know. No, they wrote and directed the Crank movies
Yeah.
and Gamer,
Yeah.
and I think Taylor did Mom and Dad.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
I didn't, but I will.
I've tried to.
Oh come on,
the-
he's knocking at the door.
The other thing about this movie is originally they wanted the director of the original Old Boy, Chan Wook Park, to direct this movie.
I'm in.
Oh shit, sold.
But of course, they went with the obvious choice in Jimmy Hayward, a man who has directed Freebirds and Horton Hears a Who.
Who's he?
Well, here's a who.
Who?
Oh my. Are we doing Abbott and Costello bits on this show now?
No, we're doing the critic bits.
Are we talking about Jimmy who?
And the last thing I wanted to note is that prior to Josh Brolin being cast in this movie, actor Thomas Jane petitioned the studio for the role of Jonah Hex, even hiring a makeup artist to give him the appearance of Jonah Hex in his audition.
Wow.
So basically, Thomas Jane did the old Sean Young auditioning for Batman thing.
I'm in.
He did
That's
the
what it's-
Jean-Claude trying to kick a producer in the face to get a movie thing.
He wasn't trying to kick him in the face. He was trying to not kick him in the face, like be as close as possible. And that's how he got in with Cannon.
It's true!
Yeah.
Didn't Sean Young dress up fully as Catwoman, though?
She did, but she was really unhinged.
Are you sure?
A little bit.
Well, guys, before we start talking about the movie, I just want to know real briefly, had any of you seen it before watching it for this?
Yes.
I watched it in theaters.
I had not.
Okay.
Steve
Well, that
paid
is
money
where-
to see this.
I paid real money for this. I was super excited for it. The Dark Knight had just come out. DC was kind of getting their shit together. Josh Brolin was kind of a new face at the time. You know, No Country for Old Men and stuff, but he wasn't, you know, Cable and Thanos and all the other beloved characters I have. I watched Westerns. I knew Jonah Hex from the Batman animated series. I was excited for it. Megan Fox was in it, for God's sakes.
That should have been your first clue.
And Nathan, you said you had not seen it, right?
I had, actually.
Oh, you
yeah.
had. Okay.
Yeah.
And Izzy, you're saying no?
Nope, this was
Okay.
my first time. My virgin eyes have now been soiled.
I had also not seen it, so we're at 50-50 here.
Well, I know it's... My dad was looking forward to seeing it.
Because it was a Western?
Well, no, because he actually apparently had read some of the original Jonah Hex comics,
Yeah.
and he was like
Alright.
kind of stoked that they were making as stoked as a dad can be, that they were making a Jonah Hex movie. I don't know if he's ever seen it actually, and I hope he hasn't. I just hope he continues to feel excited that it exists and isn't disappointed by seeing it.
Any day now, it's going to come out. It's going to be great. That's what keeps me alive.
Nathan, when's that Jonah Hex movie coming out? I think it's like in the summer or something.
It keeps getting pushed back, Dad. It'll come out sometime after Polaroid.
It's in post-production.
Oh, when is Polaroid coming out? Anyway.
Right?
So Jonah Hex, 81 minutes long with credits, 72 minutes without credits, and without the opening logos that take about a minute. Just thought you should all know that.
You know what?
It's an
It gets
hour.
a star right there.
It's an hour and 12 minutes long.
Yeah, they get some
right
bonus
from the-
points for that.
I mean, sure. But if you're establishing a brand new character that no one really knows, because let's face it, like Nathan, you said your dad knew of Jonah Hex, but
Yeah.
on the whole, more people would know.
he was not well known, no.
No, more people would, you wouldn't need to introduce Spider-Man for a long time, but
Right.
Jonah Hex, I feel like you need more than 72 minutes to really get people into
Well, they actually kind of sum up his origin story pretty quickly and tidily, and it's one of the only good things that they handle well in the movie.
I have issue with it too, though.
Well,
Do you?
Well, let's start because right at the beginning,
Before
I
we
already
start, is anybody drinking?
Yeah.
What? During Jonah Hex? Of course we are.
Okay,
I have a Miller Genuine Draft.
you fucking hobo.
Boo.
Well, you know what?
Boo.
You know, as they say, suck my dick.
Yes, they do say that, I guess.
As the Inuits say.
Is that the flavor that Miller is?
No,
Well, if it
Miller
is,
is the
then-
flavor of ass.
Well, then I sure like a good ass. Then
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Save that clip.
Saving it right now.
you don't have it recorded, you son of a bitch.
You sure about that?
No.
MP3 Skype recorder, baby.
Boom. Nathan, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Maybes, and it's from Fredericton, so it's from Brendan's neck of the woods.
Hey,
Roseway Red.
So it's a red ale. Strong, 6% alcohol by volume. And I'm just going to go ahead and if I could just... Oh, it's always hard with the one hand. There we go.
My top!
2 with 1.
Double fisting.
Steve, where's your top?
I just took it off. Didn't you hear?
Probably in the bedroom somewhere.
No, that was me and Izzy whose top you removed.
Oh, okay. Well, look at that. I even crossed time zones. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He popped tops
Anyhow.
across time zones.
There you
Steve
go.
Shirt's probably with his pants somewhere in this house.
Yeah. Cats are probably
Smells-
rolling around in them somewhere.
You say you're
Smells
wearing your
nice.
pants as a t-shirt?
No, he left his shirt
That's-
with his pants somewhere.
That's where your wiener hangs out the neck hole, right?
That's innovative. That's
If
just
it
good
fits.
math.
Going in for the sip here.
Oh. So what do you guys have?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wait, Nathan,
nice.
what do you have?
Pay fucking
it's-
attention, Brandon.
Yeah. I know it's really nice. It's got
So-
a little bit of I got a sweet to start, but then it does have that tart taste that you get with the red. I don't know shit from international BJs or brewing judges rather, but I would highly recommend this. I could see drinking several of these.
Well, what did you say the name of it was again? Sorry.
Maybe's MAYBEE
Maybe.
apostrophe S.
And what are you California crackheads drinking over there?
I'm drinking from 21st Amendment Brewery, Hell or High
Ooh.
Watermelon Wheat Beer.
Very appropriate.
Yeah. 4.9% alcohol by volume.
Yep. And I'm drinking from... Oh, I'll let you go first.
My
toilet.
top.
My top.
And I'm drinking Scope. When you need to wash your mouth out or get a cheap drink, Scope.
You know, you say that, but there was a guy passed out across from me on the train today with a bottle of mouthwash in his hand.
Stay classy, San Francisco.
Wait, Steve, what are you drinking? Let's get back on the rails
Yeah,
here.
I'm drinking from Devil's Canyon Brewing, the Full Bore Scotch Ale, 7.5%. Ooh, my
That sounds delightful.
clothes aren't even here. And
Oh my god! They blew his clothes right off.
Oh, my cock!
Ooh, that is smooth. Tastes like a nice little bit of a watered down scotch. Scotch on ice. Here, you want to try some,
Taste
babe?
your scotch.
Very malt forward.
Oh, that's boozy.
Yeah, say hints of dates and I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost a little smoky. Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I don't know if your listeners know, but Steve and I are BJCP certified beer judges, so
Blowjob certified beer judges?
yeah, we can give blowjobs while drinking beer. It's great.
Boy, yeah.
That's a talent.
That actually,
Right?
no. Now, at first I brushed it off, but now that I think about it, that is quite a feat.
Yeah. Oh, feet are involved too. Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex, guys. Jonah fucking Hex.
That's
I
what
was
my
gonna
name
say
is.
right off the bat, from the get-go, I was already hating on this movie because the Warner Brothers logo came up and they did this like butt fucking banjo music. I was like, really? We're gonna mess with the logo for this movie? Like, I feel like that should be left as like a special occasion for like a good movie.
This was legendary, at least according to the logo, anyways.
And also Weed Road, which would have been nice to have while I watched this movie.
Just a road of weed. Come out to San Francisco, buddy.
I also find like as this movie opens, even just like the establishing shots, like the shots of before we even see Josh Brolin, it looks like a student film.
What?
It's almost as if, guys, now stop me if I'm wrong, but it's almost as if this
Stop.
movie was incompetently made.
Let's say, are you talking about when he rolls up into town? That's 3 buildings.
Can we also, okay, just as a general a general thing in this movie, everybody's southern accents.
You mean they're magnificent, especially Malkovich's?
Yeah.
That first
Oh.
line that tumbles
My
out of
God.
his mouth.
Holy shit. I thought, before I watched this, okay, without even having seen a single bit of dialogue in this movie, I thought, okay, Megan Fox is obviously, that's going to be like the worst accent in this entire movie. But then as soon as Malkovich opened up his mouth,
He was trying to be straight from the cotillion.
Oh my god! And he's doing like his own weird inflection combined with the southern accent, and it just is insane.
You know who I wish they had as the bad guy in this one, just so I could hear him do a terrible southern accent for the entire movie? Christopher
Reeves.
Walken.
Yeah, I was thinking walking too.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, baby!
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Dracula. So, what do we get right from the get-go here? We see Josh Brolin as Jonah Hex. He is our hero. He is fighting for the
Confederacy. Yep.
Army. That is the way you warm up an audience to a character right off the bat. and right
He's
at the
an
beginning,
anti-hero, Brendan. You're not supposed to like him.
South
He's
Well,
also an
have to like
anti-abolitionist.
I will argue that because later they do a really sloppy job of making us be like, oh, he's not so bad.
He has a black friend.
Lance Reddick is his friend. Everything's okay.
You mean the concierge?
No, he's the Smith in this one.
Yeah.
He's the concierge.
So, right off the bat, we see Josh Brolin as Jonah Hex. He's in the Confederate Army, and basically established that he apparently he likes the idea of war until Malkovich is like, you know what? We should start burning down some hospitals.
Yeah, kill some injured people and babies and women and children.
Hashtag child murder.
Right off the bat, hashtag child murder. Also, by the way, we don't see any of this right away. All we
no.
see is Brolin being tied up and Malkovich threatening to kill his family, which he does in front of him.
And we don't see the family yet.
No,
We don't see the family till the later flashback.
I would argue that they needed to show something leading up to that, because it just jumps right in and you're like, wait, what? What did he do?
Here's the thing. If they had taken this character and treated it with the true grittiness that it needed, like given it a real Nolan go-over, this movie would have been a hard R.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It was
Should
not.
have been.
As it
Yes.
should have been, yeah. I mean, it was written by the guys that did Crank, for fuck's sake.
It should have been ultra violent and just nothing but revenge, and it was none of that.
So who would you, like right now, working directors, who would you put in charge of this film?
Sam
Eli
Raimi.
Roth.
Ooh, Eli Roth. Ooh.
Uwe
I was
Boll.
just going to say, I would have just had
No.
Neville Dean and Taylor direct it.
Yeah. Well, I think they
Honestly.
they broke up. Yeah, Brian Taylor put him in charge. I like the idea of Sam Raimi kind of doing like he did with Quick and the Dead.
Yeah. So Jonah Hex.
We get that awesome, like, I don't know, Watchmen Dark Freighter type animation for the opening.
I so loved the animation, and I wish that it cared. Like, as soon as it came on, I'm like, Steve, is there more of this in the movie? And he's like, no, sorry. If they had kept this up, like, to get through, like, some of the other kind of, like,
The backstory.
backstory and, like, skipping around and stuff, or, like, his, spoiler alert, he has, like, a dream sequence later. If that had been animated or something, oh, it'd be such a good, like, tie-in throughout the movie.
Instead of looking like a Soundgarden video.
Yeah, right. His dream should have been animated, right?
It would have been an interesting choice, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk about, because basically John Malkovich kills Jonah. I keep going between the actors and the characters, but Malkovich kills Jonah Hex's family in front of him because, as he explains, because in movies we like to hear characters talk about stuff that happens rather than seeing it. That's a really good screenwriting method. Is that Jonah Hex basically didn't want to burn down his hospital, ended up having to shoot Malkovich's son for some reason because he was going to do it.
Also, Jonah Hex's best friend.
Yeah, also his best friend. Also played by Negan of The Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
But Malkovich, basically, this is his revenge. He's going to kill his family in front of him. He also brands his face with his, logo, with his, initials.
Does not come off looking like that.
No,
It looks like it says QT.
Yeah, it's a
Cutie.
Quentin Tarantino.
He's a
It
little
is QT, though.
Unless it's a joke that he is no longer a cutie.
Nah.
So I'm not gonna lie, don't know that much about Jonah Hex, like aside from him being in like
What?
Batman the Animated Series. He has a super brief appearance in a couple of other things. Is that how he got his scars, or
Yeah.
How do you think I got these scars?
Or do any of you guys know a lot about Jonah Hex?
Not a
Zero.
whole lot.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot. I think I don't know if it was Quentin Turnbull that scarred up his face on the one side, but it's definitely like somebody did. It might have been a different character.
oh,
But the whole thing is, Jonah Hex doesn't have any superpowers. He's basically Batman in the Old West. He's fueled by
Right.
vengeance. He's the fastest gun in the West. He's like, stronger than the average person, but it's just because he works out and all that. And,
It's more like
he's...
the Punisher.
Yeah. He's very, very much like the Punisher. He doesn't talk to dead people.
So Jonah Hex is seemingly not Left for Dead, but he's Left for Dead because he's taken in by the natives who I
Are
guess,
treated so sensitively in this movie.
very sensitively, so sensitively in fact that they're only presented through animation, and he is brought back to life, I guess, and in bringing him back to life, or kind of keeping him alive, he has this power where, yes, he can hold on to dead people and talk to them, and they can see everything. Okay, this is the thing. So in this movie, dead people still continue to watch those other people that they knew in their life. So
Not
like,
okay with that.
yeah, that's weird.
The stuff I do in the bathroom alone. I mean, continue.
are you saying you're saying Mima doesn't want to watch that?
Look, it's fine if she wants to keep an eye on me, just not when I'm flogging the bishop. Go see what my
Nathan-
brother's doing.
Nathan's heading in the shitter. Time to turn this off for the night.
Right? Yeah, it's a courtesy,
My thought was watching the animated stuff. My thought was budget cuts.
Yeah.
Because I thought, like, they didn't have time to film any of this. I mean, how could you when you have 12 days to shoot 66 goddamn pages?
If that's the case, happy accident, because it is easily one of the best parts of the movie.
I really enjoyed it, and I actually wanted more of it in the movie. And if they'd added more of it in the movie, then it wouldn't feel so much like they were forced into it, but more like it was an artistic decision.
Yeah, there was, I don't know, there was like this weird kind of resurgence for that sort of thing for like a real brief time, like just at the end of the 2000s, the beginning of 2010, because I think they did the same thing with Spider-Woman as well.
Yeah, actually, one of my teachers when I was in school was finishing up a Muppets one.
Cool.
Interesting.
So Jonah Hex is brought back to life, and he basically also explains through the animation that Quentin Turnbull, aka John Malkovich, was killed in a hotel fire.
Or faked his death.
Or
depending
faked his
on-
death. He's not
yeah.
quite sure at this point. And then I laugh, just like it ends with him going, "I'm Jonah Hex, and this here's my story." Like, it's just very like, I don't know. So the movie begins for real, and
With a drag race.
With a drag race. Jonah Hex is dragging all these dead bodies in to collect his bounty. And then the guys decide, you know what? We'd rather just kill you because you're worth more.
The funny thing was this part here when he rolled into town and they said his name like 100 times. I was like, are they going to start a musical number? Jonah Hex, Jonah Hex, Jonah Hex.
If you took a drink every time they said Jonah Hex in this movie, you would die.
Oh yeah, it would be death. Did you guys
Yeah.
notice their prettiest hooker? There
What?
was a gal who, I'm not here to like shame or anything, but
But
not
you're totally
100%
gonna
sure it
shame?
was a gal. Big mop of dark hair, and I was just like, I bet she's the prettiest girl in this town,
The town of 3 buildings.
right?
So he has a machine gun on his horse,
2 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them, and he mows down everyone because they're going to kill him. And the best is he then takes the sheriff who he's killed. He takes his sheriff's pin and puts it on like the dumbest guy in town.
Yeah.
And he's like, "There you go, son." And I'm just like, Jonah, I don't think that's legally binding.
This is great. This is like one of the first time. Normally Cheyenne will watch movies like this with me, but this is like one of the first time Emma my other daughter watched this with me, and here's a direct quote from her. Wow, he's good at surviving. I feel really bad for those other people, though.
That's awesome.
And I feel bad for his face.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it. I was gonna say, there's also some voiceover right around in this part, because somebody says he's killed more men than there are souls in hell. And I was like, either that's impossible, or he's killed a lot of innocent people.
Yeah. A lot of
Right,
Mormons
because-
got mowed down on the way to three buildings over
And
I think,
apparently-
Missouri or whatever.
Natural gas was all the rage in the Old West because
Oh my
somehow he
God.
blew up that building.
Yeah, by shooting a lamp.
Oh, well, I don't know if you know this or not, but they used to build Western towns out of dynamite and kerosene. After the first couple of hundred, explosions, they realized that was a great way to get a quarry, but not a great way to build civilization.
That's why they're called ghost towns.
Yeah.
Because they're filled with ghosts.
I love it. I love it. Now I can only think of a movie called Ghost Town. The tagline is just, "It's filled with ghosts."
We can
It's
make
a
it,
town
Brendan.
of ghosts.
Telling
Get
you,
it?
you get
Ghost
a hold
Town.
of Jason Bloom. I mean, we could make that movie. He'd
Ghost
probably
Town.
greenlight it
It's filled with ghosts.
just on the tagline alone.
Wait, what if it
Sold.
was like a romantic comedy? Ghost Town. It's filled with ghosts.
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
What?
Ask me what it means!
So my thing here is, as he's leaving the town, yes, like Nathan said, it's made of dynamite. It starts blowing up. I'm just thinking, that town definitely had innocent people
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the people
Like,
in there
he's
were
just-
not bad.
murdered.
They're children.
Yeah.
This is how he
Hashtag
killed
child
more
murder.
people than there are people in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's killed more men than there are souls in hell.
Thank you for the direct quote.
So we have a train sequence here. Malkovich is alive and well, as we can see. He's faked his own hotel fire death.
With the
And-
greatest accent in the history of accents.
As one
It
is wont to do.
It is insane. But what now? At this point, we find out that they're trying to get a weapon, which they are calling a nation killer. It's a weapon that will supposedly wipe out entire countries.
I feel the science in this one is a little dubious too.
I don't know. That sounds pretty
That's not
apt to
a
me.
moon.
We're going straight to the Wild Wild West. We're going straight to
The wild, 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 wild.
The good guys dressed in black. Remember that, just in case we have a face-to-face to make contact. No? Sorry, wrong movie.
That began a nightmare on my street. What?
I haven't seen you in a coon's age.
Whoa, hey now, let's
That is
dial
a
it
direct
back
quote
bit.
from that movie. That is a direct quote from that movie.
That movie is problematic.
When are we doing Wild Wild West?
Fuck, any
Next
movie
week.
is
What?
problematic given time.
Steve, what would you say when somebody asks you, when are you doing this movie?
next week.
Up next.
Next week.
So there's a real bourgeois train robbery, and Michael Fassbender blows a shit ton of people up.
Michael Fassbender has the worst tattoo in this movie.
Oh, are you
It
talking
looks
about
like
his
he has,
facial hair tattoo?
Was it facial hair or was it a tattoo?
No, it was a tattoo, but it
Okay.
looks like ridiculous facial hair.
His Thanos tattoo?
It looked like he was. It looked like a shitty Halloween costume. It looked like someone was trying to dress up as the guy from A Clockwork Orange, but they had never seen A Clockwork Orange.
And they just drew some shit on their chin.
Yeah.
He was going
Video
for the
in
Mike
and out,
Tyson
mate.
look, but he was super drunk.
Apparently, I read that Fassbender used the character from A Clockwork Orange as his inspiration.
That
And I
makes
will
sense.
say this.
Oh, it wasn't
I
the
think-
Riddler?
I think he is the only actor in this movie that I feel like is really giving it.
Oh yeah, no, he knows what movie he's in, and he's playing it.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Aidan Quinn is the president,
Yes!
Yeah.
and Will Arnett's like his right-hand man.
And BoJack Horseman's one of his assistants.
He has one of the best lines in the entire movie. He says, they're talking about Malkovich, and he says, his Mexican slaves called him terrorista. I laughed so hard at that. And
So what does it mean?
ladies and gentlemen, for some
Terrorista.
reason,
Lady of Terror?
Yeah.
Will Arnett.
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, it's 2010. Arrested Development is already a thing at this point. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Is it still on the air, or has it been canceled at this point?
No, I think it's like either towards the end or it's already been on the air for at least a year or two. I'm pretty sure.
Or it might have been just canceled.
Yeah. Why cast? I love Will Arnett. I'm not going to say he's bad.
Because he's
or
a great
anything.
actor and he doesn't want to be typecast.
No, this is terrible casting.
How so? What, a white
Every
guy
time-
can't be a general in the United States
In the
Army?
Union Army?
You
Every
Canadians
time he-
really need to open your minds up to the fact that all people are equal and
Okay.
all actors deserve a chance to play these roles.
Every time Will Arnett opened his mouth, I was like, wait, I don't get it. Because I kept expecting he was making a joke.
You were waiting
he
for a
does start with
punchline that
joke.
doesn't come.
He does start with a joke because he says, "My unit is the very best." And I literally
Humble brag.
that's the
Tulsa's
first
the
line
biggest.
he says. It's the first line he says, and I was like, "Oh, was that a joke?"
Wait, is
he
his
he
name
playing
Mariah?
Is he playing a comedic character? Because I don't think I'm gonna buy Will Arnett in a dramatic role. Oh, he's in a dramatic role. Okay, fuck this movie. Sorry.
I don't think it's 2010. I don't think he has broken out as being like the international crack up that he is as far as comedy goes. I mean, Arrested Development, sure,
Ninja Turtles hasn't come out yet.
right?
I'm not gonna lie, like, when he walked on screen, I turned to Steve and was like, really interesting casting in this movie.
I also, you know what? I'm also going to argue. I think John Malkovich is miscast too, and I love John Malkovich.
I want Christopher Walken.
Everybody
I
wants
wouldn't give
Christopher Walken.
Ugh, all the time, just want him.
I like Malkovich. Cyrus the Virus is the bad guy in this movie. I was totally excited for it.
But what if it could have been Nick Cage?
I mean,
Oh,
apparently Nick
Jesus.
Cage can't be cast in everything, according to Brendan.
You would have gotten a terrible Southern accent, as evidenced by Con Air.
Put the bonnet in the box.
Oh, it would have been so good. So good.
So in this scene, we find out through exposition about the weapon that John Malkovich is trying to get to destroy nations, and Will Arnett. Will Arnett has such a thankless role because he's basically the guy to be like, I don't know about this Jonah Hex fella, in like 2 scenes, and then he's out of the movie.
He's back in it later, but his character should just be general exposition.
Well, no, but I'm saying he's in this scene. He's in this scene later with Jonah, and he shows up at the end. Spoiler alert, he shows up at the end to die. But, like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
exposition, darling. It's got to go somewhere.
He's
Damn it, you beat me to it!
he's a very pointless character. But we learn that they want to recruit Jonah Hex because apparently, you know, he's really great. He has this magic power where he talks to the dead.
He's the
And
best
we'll
bounty
find out-
hunter in the
Bounty
West.
hunter. Yes.
That's right. We'll
You have
find
any
out
idea
where-
how many Union soldiers he killed over the years?
for
Apparently,
non-racial
it's
means.
more people than there are souls in hell.
If that's the case, there would not be a Union army, and the Confederacy would have won.
No, not after he turned against the Confederacy. Huh?
He turned face.
Yeah, he did.
About face.
Kind of, I guess.
So
Anyhow,
yes.
let's move on to the part where the guy fell in love with a hooker.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Played by Megan Fox,
Yeah.
Megan Fox fell in love with a hooker?
who.
Ooh.
Wow.
No, but Megan Fox, the hooker, fell in love with a client.
No, the client fell in
Dumbass.
love with her, and she doesn't give a shit about him. She wants
Yeah.
her money.
She fell in love with Jonah Hex,
Yeah, Jonah
who
Hex.
is also
Oh,
a
I thought
client.
the
you
other
were talking
guy
about
is
the
in love with
before
her.
him.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy is harassing her. She kicks him out. Jonah Hex comes in. Clearly, they have some kind of relationship going, even though she is a prostitute.
Bro.
And at this point, I noticed that, I don't know if it was the makeup that they were using, the effects. It looks like he looks like he has an asshole on his face. Like, that whole It looks like he's got a butthole right on his cheek.
Well, that's what Megan Fox fucks when they fuck, so obviously.
When they were about to kiss, and they cut away from the kiss, I was so disappointed because I wanted to see her tongue in that mouth hole.
Yeah. Weirdo.
I'm glad I'm not the only broken one.
He does dribble some whiskey out of it later.
Yeah,
Guys,
that's a
what do we
waste of
think
good
of-
whiskey.
What do we think of her accent?
Does she have an accent?
I don't think of her, so...
She had lines.
Yeah. She was in the movie for like 4 minutes, so
I just saw that bustle.
I really enjoyed her accent.
Bustling, bustling, bustling.
She is terrible in this movie. Okay, so anyway, Megan Fox, I don't know if you guys noticed this. This is a very small thing, but when they kept cutting back between her and Josh Brolin, she looked different in every shot.
Oh yeah, they totally did her makeup and her hair different each time. You can tell where the reshoots are.
Yeah, it's but like normally I don't really pick up on that stuff, but it is so noticeable.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that probably when they did the reshoots, they couldn't get her makeup and hair person.
Yeah, they couldn't get like a good match or something with the lights and the lenses and.
Oh, her makeup and hair is
Yeah.
different.
Oh yeah,
Like,
well
you
that
can-
too.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that her person was busy after, like, when they did the reshoots, and so they had to get somebody else, and it's not going to look the same.
Yeah.
He spends a whole night with a hooker. How much did that cost him?
A quarter.
Well,
You know, inflation.
I mean,
That's like $1,000, but.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Probably nothing because she had the hots for him.
Right, because she fell in love with a client.
I'll stay with you all night. You just let me play with that butthole on your face.
I just want to finger it.
He does get a great line where he's like, "By God, woman, how many men you see in a day?"
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because a number of soldiers show up and basically recruit him. They let him know that Malkovich is still alive, and
What'd you say his name?
Josh Brolin joins their little brigade. But before we get to them meeting up and him meeting up with Will Arnett and doing his dead people magic, Wes Bentley is in this movie,
He is.
and Wes Bentley was in American Beauty and that movie with Heath Ledger that no one saw. Flags. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, Wes Bentley's accent is, I thought I was watching like Foghorn Leghorn in human form.
I say so.
Oh, he's basically like, I say if I get caught for this, I could get executed.
You're talking about Cotillion Wolverine.
Good old mutton chops.
So he does his dead people magic because Will Arnett's like, hey, we interrogated this guy, but then he died for some reason. So can you talk to him?
He died in
Got a bit of a
custody.
knack for it.
Yeah, he died while he was being interrogated. What the hell? What, did you just like shoot him in the face? Like what happened?
Hey, you know, the first couple times they waterboarded people, there were casualties.
Well, yeah, that's because they didn't use the towel. They literally just shoved water down their throats.
Yeah, you live, you learn.
Yeah. Trial
Before
and
your
error,
bridges
as
burn.
they say. But so what do we think of this little scene of him using his abilities to talk to this dead guy?
I did enjoy the line where he's like, "Oh, they sound like hellhounds. I wouldn't try to pet them." One thing I liked about it.
They establish so many things in this movie and never come back to them. Like the thing here is he puts dirt on his head and he's like dead like dirt, dirt like dead. Because like when he talks to people, when he talks to dead people, they start burning. So he has to like when he lets go, they go back to normal, they go back to dead, but they're not burning anymore. And if he holds on too long, they'll just burn up, and I guess their souls are erased from history? ? But like, yeah, he establishes that dirt helps the burns go away, but then that never comes up again.
He never uses that ever again.
Ever.
Brendan, we only have 72 minutes of movie to work with here. We
It's
can't have
unfortunate.
like callbacks 4 times.
It really is unfortunate, and I'm usually a big proponent of a movie being a nice, tight, like 90, 95 minutes. But this movie definitely feels like if it had been given the opportunity to breathe a little bit, we could have got something better out of it.
So, yeah, so he finds out where he doesn't find out where John Malkovich is going to be, but he finds out where one of his associates is going to be at a fucking human dog fight.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dukes of Hazzard, played by Luke Duke,
Tom Wopat.
right? And the human dog fight is hosted by Michael Shannon.
3-time podcast appearance from Michael Shannon.
So there you go. We get a 3-time for Brolin and a 3-time for Shannon.
Yep. And a 1-time and possibly only for Malkovich.
Oh, I don't think that's the case.
Malkovich has
all.
only done good movies. He's interrogating this guy, Slocum, and the whole time, like, this crazy, like, snake guy is fighting.
Yes.
Who has actual venom. And I'm like, are we just ignoring the fact that this is an actual snake man?
I am so much more interested in Snake Mutant than I am Tom Wopat, which is something I never thought I'd have to say, but I'm more interested in that than I am Tom Wopat.
Well, yeah, because he has legitimate venom.
Yeah, when do we get to learn more about Snake Boy?
That's what
Never.
I wrote.
Rattler Boy?
Snake Boy, a Jonah Hex story.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if you want to see something flop hard.
What, the title doesn't draw him in? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think if we rework the title, we might get something.
Oh, wait, I got it. Snake Eyes.
You got snake eyes!
With Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage as the Snake Man? I'm in.
So, Jonah Hex fights off Luke Duke and his cronies.
Very easily.
And yeah, very easily. And he reveals that he has that he's apparently jealous of the good looks of a dog outside. So he takes the dog, and they go to find Jeb.
Who is Malkovich's son, who Jonah had killed in the aforementioned hospital blow-up attempt.
Yeah, and the dog wants nothing to do with that cemetery. So he goes in and he digs up a corpse.
Yep,
Yes, he
dead.
does.
Zombie fight!
Yeah, Jonah Hex can't get his ass whooped, too.
Yeah.
Fight, yeah, right?
He gets his ass whooped by dead Negan.
I like to think of him as dead comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dead what?
comedian
Oh, okay.
for the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Or dead Thomas Wayne from Batman v Superman.
Yes, that's what I want to remember him from.
So this is the second DC movie, third DC movie that Jeffrey Dean Morgan has been in. He's played a different character.
Oh shit, he should have been like Thomas Wayne's like great-grandfather.
Right?
That would have been amazing. Bruce Wayne is like, I remember when my great-great-grandfather fought for the Confederacy.
How do you think we got those billions of dollars?
I've never displayed my southern accent to a group of people before.
Can you imagine Ben Affleck doing a southern accent? Good lord.
I'm Batman.
No, you mean, I'm Batman. So Jonah wins this fight with a corpse, with a shovel to the dome.
What a hero.
I know, right? So where, pray tell, is Malkovich hiding out at?
The name of I believe it's
Springfield, Georgia?
Oh, I don't even remember the name now. Go ahead.
Fort
Nathan.
Resurrection.
Oh, yes. That's right.
Talk about on the nose.
Yeah. A la Blood Money in Snake Eyes.
Pretty sure Malkovich named it, so...
I mean, it's not like his name is like John Villain or anything.
Can I just say that watching... I tried to get a couple of clips for this movie. It's, by the way, very difficult. Because they are not readily available. And the ones of, like, just the cast talking about the movie, John Malkovich, when he talks about Jonah Hex, looks like he wants to die. Like, he is just the most miserable looking individual. I don't blame him, but he's talking about the movie, and it looks like he's, like, just... I play a villain, and I did something, and then he can talk to dead people, and there's explosions. It's a western, yeah.
in fairness, he has made some Nick Cage type choices.
You mean pure gold?
No, I mean just in general. He's made some awful choices for movies to be in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're watching one right now.
Gold, solid gold.
How did they know
I
we were
feel
watching
like-
a movie instead of talking about a podcast?
Talking, sorry, we're talking about one of them right
okay.
Turn off being John
now.
Malkovich.
Steve.
For me, like I feel like Nicolas Cage, as crazy as he is always enjoyable. I feel like in this movie, John Malkovich just does not give a fuck.
It's because with Nick Cage, he becomes he just dives right in and he gives it all regardless. I think what happens with Malkovich is when he gets into situations like this, he starts out going full bore and then he realizes what he's gotten himself into and just starts phoning it in like halfway through the movie.
I don't think he's phoning it in. I think he's trying to focus on that accent.
I don't know. I feel like
He's
he
putting
really
so much
doesn't.
energy.
Do declare.
Maybe he's trying to be subtle in his character's portrayal. I don't know.
You know who would have been really great in this role?
Who?
Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper. Are you talking about Barry Pepper?
I'm talking about Barry Pepper.
He
Yeah.
was in the Lone Ranger.
Or Battlefield Earth?
I was gonna say the two greatest non-flops ever.
Alan Rickman.
Steve, can we speak with Alan Rickman?
Everybody, I was really deep in the Harry Potter world at the time. I couldn't take on any more projects, especially a Western.
Thank
Great
you,
with
Mr.
Quentin
Rickman.
Turnbull.
Oh my god.
You
So-
killed everything I loved.
So Megan Fox gets assaulted.
Yeah.
Do we care though?
Yeah.
I kind of did. My kids did. They were a little upset that she was getting beat up by that chap.
They were upset that the hooker was getting the shit beat out of it. Did you tell them this is the circle of life?
No, I didn't tell them that she was a hooker. They just saw some pretty lady getting beat up by some guy who was being mean.
And she was in her underpants.
Well, thank you for helping me fix that tear in my seam. Here's your money.
Boy, oh boy. Are we talking about the guy that Megan Fox ends up killing?
That's the one.
Does he kill her?
She,
I mean, does she kill him rather?
she kills the guy that earlier that was like trying to like be like, I own you, woman.
Yeah, because he buys her from her pimp.
Yeah.
I'll have to answer Emma's question because she actually asked me, did she kill him? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
she
sure
did.
pretty sure he's Deadsville.
He's
All right.
dead.
All right, so let's move on to when Jonah Hex buys those guns, or dem guns.
Let's talk about this is the justify everything scene.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of justify everything, or try to justify everything.
Yeah, I should say this is the attempt to justify everything scene.
Yeah.
Because what happens in this scene, Nathan?
Oh well, Jonah Hex shows that he's really not, a super racist who fought for the
He
Confederacy.
wasn't fighting for slavery, and he wasn't fighting for the Confederacy. He was just fighting to fight.
He was fighting because he didn't like the government telling him what to do. Even if
Which
that
is-
thing was to end slavery.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Said the
which is-
black guy.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's... Listen, I'm not a big fan of people telling me what to do either, but if somebody's telling me, you know what, don't stab yourself in the face, I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah, but
'Cause
see,
I want a butthole in my
involves,
cheek.
like, something with you. What if they said, like, hey, you gotta, like, stop talking shit about, like, baristas?
Well, I'm going to keep talking shit about baristas.
Yeah,
See?
see, you are no better
Wait,
than the
are we
Confederates.
comparing talking shit
Oh,
about
no.
racistas?
No,
Are we talking about? Are we comparing that to slavery?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Fuck
closer
that.
to that than it is stabbing yourself in the face. Self-harm is no joke, gentlemen.
Unless you're using racial epithets when describing baristas, it is.
Well,
not
obviously
the same.
baristas are Latina.
Well,
They're
there it is,
Italian,
guys.
Steve.
Italian? Whatever.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh
Venti? Come on. I mean, just saying.
We're making the Canadians uncomfortable.
Tomato,
honey.
tomatillo,
Oh
whatever.
my goodness, you are not making me uncomfortable. Good lord.
Well, and also Brolin does his version of Donald Trump's "There's fine people on both sides" speech.
Yes.
They're good people. They're good people on both
he's like,
sides.
I don't like any of them. They're all hypocrites. But he gets his guns. He gets his rocket guns.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to find out what's going on with old Malkovich.
Oh, and his giant steampunk Gatling gun nuclear weapon?
His nation killer.
Wait, is this the one designed by Eli Whitney?
Yeah, to which Michael Fassbender goes, I am a very undereducated man. Do you mean senior or junior? And then later, I only say that because later he says, I am a very undereducated man. And then they literally have a line later where he's like, Jonah Hex is not smart enough to die. And he goes, I'll educate him.
Yes, he's... wasn't he says he's like, I take pleasure in educating him in it or something like that?
Yeah.
He tries to make it sound real classy and poetic-like.
Yeah. Which I would argue for the way he talks in this movie, it's weird that he would say, I'm an undereducated man.
Oh, yeah, fiddle-dee-dee potatoes.
Wait, the Irish man with the Irish accent?
Right, there.
Yeah, let's just piss off every single group in this episode. At this point, I wrote down that Megan Fox has not been anywhere outside the bedroom yet.
No.
There is in anything.
Why
good.
would she be?
So this doesn't pass the Bechdel test?
I don't believe so.
Is there a second woman with a line in this movie?
There is not.
Oh, Jonah's wife. I think she has a line.
She screams.
No, her line is, "Ah!"
Yeah, hey, she gets paid for that. That's in the guild. That's a line.
I don't, to answer your question, Steve, no, I don't believe this movie passes the Bechdel test.
It's
Do
unfortunate.
two women have a conversation not about a man?
I
Nope,
don't think there's two women in this movie.
There are not two women who talk to each other in this movie.
they're not.
So, this is the point where Fassbender and Jonah Hex get into a fight. And
Right.
Jonah Hex takes a shot at him with his pistol, and it goes into like a dynamite crate where the dynamite apparently has like Yosemite Sam fuse on it.
Yeah, it's a very long fuse.
It's not going off until it's convenient to the plot.
It's not, it's not
You
going
mean it's
off.
like it's almost as if it's actual blasting dynamite that would be timed so that you could light it, exit to a safe area, and then mine with it?
No, I get that. I get that's a thing. I just find it's one of those situations where it's like it blows up where it's convenient to the plot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
well, because he's watching the fuse and he throws it when it's convenient to not be blown up.
He was not watching it before he picked it up, though.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was doing a monologue, like staring at Jonah Hex.
He's got experience with dynamite.
No, he
knows how long
wasn't
this
staring at
is.
Jonah Hex because he's talking to Jonah Hex. He walks over to get it, and he turns around, and Jonah's gone.
And then he's on a boat, and so then he tosses the dynamite at it, and it blows up, I don't know, 12 feet from Jonah's head.
You know what a boat
Yeah,
is? It's just a
I don't
water
know if-
choo-choo.
Irishmen can throw that far.
And it's a great CGI explosion too. Looks really realistic.
And so, meanwhile, in a Soundgarden video,
Oh, that's the worst part for me. I hate that part so
That
much.
should have been animated. That 100% should have been
Should have
animated.
been taken out completely.
Should have been
So
animated.
yeah, that too, Steve. Let's make it 68 minutes.
Yeah.
now is this where is there a, like? Oh yes, Jonah Hex is dying, or you think he's dying,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I have another direct quote from my daughter Emma. Please don't die. You're such a good man.
Out of curiosity, how old is Miss Emma?
Emma is 12.
Aww.
12
Yeah.
years old and already siding with the Confederacy. I see how it is. Judge away, Canadians.
And when they showed like his he's bleeding and stuff, like, holy frig. I wish you watched more movies with me.
You guys are gonna have to record watching a movie, like audio record watching a movie with her.
So when are you guys doing Human Centipede 2 again?
No.
Let's talk about that Jonah Hex dying.
Okay.
So he
If you
is
want
dying, and I do want to. Is he? And he is dying. He makes a recovery because, again, the natives come and save his life. Their only function in this movie is to save his life.
Oh yeah, but hey, they get some screen time this time. I mean, it is very brief, but they get some screen time.
If there was a Bechdel test for Native Americans, this movie would not pass it.
You know what's terrible? The dog and the crows get more screen time than the people who saved his life.
And I think that's what the holy frig thing was about, is when they do that thing where the crow comes out of Jonah Hex's mouth.
Not gonna lie, that was a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
From the writers of
like,
Crank.
oh my god, holy frig.
And then he like sits right up and he yells, "Trouble!" And then it's instantly like, I don't know, galloping montage or whatever.
No, we get Malkovich is having like a delightful drink, isn't he?
Almost as if the movie is like, oh my god, we only have 20 more minutes!
Bullshit!
But what I hate about this scene where he has this dream where he's fighting Malkovich, is that they use it later to intercut in the fight scene when they're actually fighting.
That's the worst.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this, because this is a very confusing set of scenes. I think what they're going for, and if you're in a comic and you've got a longer format, this probably works. I've got this feeling, and I might be given more credit than is due, but my feeling is he's probably having this reoccurring dream, because in the first scenario, in the first dream, Malkovich kills him. Malkovich wins the fight.
Yep.
And so I have a feeling that like he keeps having this reoccurring dream that like that Turnbull is going to win. And then later, when we have our epic fight, he's changing the dream. He's changing the fate.
He's becoming master of the bats, not being afraid of them.
Yeah. He's letting them lift him up towards the sun.
I mean, perhaps, but I still think it's very sloppy.
Oh, yeah, no, they did an awful job with it, but...
Like, it doesn't really... I'm just kind of like, okay, when I first saw that scene where he's fighting him in the quote-unquote dream, I thought for a second that was actually happening.
Yeah, except for there were all kinds of weird filters and everything is like neon orange.
Yeah, but then again, at the same time, I was like, who fucking knows of this movie at this point? Like, you know what I mean? It's all over the map.
So, is Jonah Hex the crow now?
Yes.
Like, at this point in the movie?
He has his loyal army of attack crows and his dog and his horse, and he's ready to attack.
It all ties together. He was rescued by the crow, Indians, Native Americans, to follow the crows, to get vengeance like the crow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can't rain all the time.
By the way, guys, his horse is named Horse, which is also the name of the horse in A Winter's Tale. Just saying. Shared universe.
Okay.
Same horse.
All right.
Same horse.
Same horse. That horse has led a weird life.
He's going to meet up with Colin Farrell and Will Smith as the devil.
Yeah, the dog's name is Dog. By the way...
Don't forget the exciting telegraph action scene.
Yeah.
Giant weapon. Nation killer. Stop. Send thousands. Stop.
Send everything you got. Stop.
I like how he says, I'm going in it alone, but send thousands.
No, he says, send everything you've got.
Yeah, but right after he says,
I'm
doing this alone. So this is the big climactic scene in the film.
Okay, so right before that, he hands his horse and his dog off to the stable boy.
Yeah.
And I like that, like, he says, he tells the stable boy, like, don't tie him up. If I don't come back, the horse will wander off and go join A Winter's Tale. And by daybreak. And then I'm not gonna lie, my favorite part is he turns to the dog and he goes, I don't know what to say to you, and he just walks away. I really liked that scene a lot.
Colin Farrell made a cameo just to be like, how much for this horse?
His name is Horse.
I don't know, but I think I'm about to kill your brother.
Then Russell Crowe starts chasing him. It all comes together.
More crows! It's all pointing towards the crows.
Directed by Cameron Crowe.
He's actually a raven.
So Jonah Hex shows up. He has a major fight with Michael Fassbender at this point.
Oh yes, and he gives that fire fist.
Well, he kills him by putting his head in the propeller, which should have done a lot more than what we saw in the aftermath.
Yeah, it was a pretty bloodless death.
Why was the propeller going, by the way?
You never know when you're gonna need a propeller.
Dramatic
Plot.
effect.
Yeah.
Because it looks cool, Steve. Duh.
It didn't look that cool.
Look cooler than no propeller.
It definitely did not look okay. But as soon as he kills him, he grabs him, and then, of course, because he's talking to the dead, so Michael Fassbender is starting to burn up, and then Jonah Hex punches his soul and kills him for good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double kills him.
Double kills
tap.
him?
You gotta double tap. Anything we've learned from zombie movies, double tap.
Keep going. Double tap.
Double tap. Double tap.
This is our Kumite.
Double the Van damage.
Oh my god. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Quentin Turnbull.
The
I feel his southern accent would be more convincing.
So
You kill my
Fassbender,
son. I will kill everyone you love.
he kills Fassbender's character. Fassbender's dead city, population him. And, but he's about to kill Malkovich. But then, what's this? We've got Megan Fox as a hostage. Just kill him. Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, no, Malkovich sees him, which it proves rather that Jonah Hex sucks at stealth.
He can't even sneak up on the dead.
True. Because he gets his ass kicked by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, he touched the dead body and he got his ass handed to him. Exactly. So yeah, at this point, I do have 2 clips, guys, that I did manage to find. This is a clip. So because he has Megan Fox as a hostage, Josh Brolin drops his gun and they put him in prison. Now I wanted to play. They put them in shackles rather. So they can go ahead and launch these bombs at all the nations, I guess, everywhere in the world, or everywhere in America, and Washington specifically, to blow it up off the map. Some great science here, and just this bit, like, would you guys would argue Josh Brolin has a lot of like quippy one-liners, right?
Oh yeah.
Really weird in this scene because as this scene ends, it feels like they didn't have anything to give him because this is kind of. I'll just play this. It's when they're shackled and Megan Fox makes her way out of it. So here we go.
You still got that Derringer in your bustle?
No, I took it.
What about that knife in your garter?
Took it.
What about that?
Took it all, Jonah.
Well, searched you for darn good, didn't they?
Wouldn't you?
All right, look, here's what we're gonna do. You shout for the guard. Get him over here, use your feminine wiles and whatnot. When he gets close, what the hell?
Tallulah Black's mama didn't raise no fool.
Tallulah.
Lala's the nickname.
Tallulah.
He just said Tallulah.
Like he's trying to come up with something witty to say.
I can explain that for you if you'd like.
Okay.
Tallulah Black is a character in the Jonah Hex universe who is Megan Fox. I think her name's Leela in the movie. It's her mom who Jonah Hex had a relationship with.
But they don't explain that in the movie at all.
No, of course not.
So,
it's a fun Easter egg for
Easter egg
the
for
10
nerds. Yeah.
fans that went to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
In the context of the movie, it makes no sense.
No.
He's an old
it
man
does.
remembering an old lover.
No. It's really easy, guys. Tallulah is the power call from Fried Green Tomatoes, and it's what Kathy
God.
Bates screams as she trashes the young girl's car who cut her off.
Okay, all that having been said, my biggest criticism with that is that they didn't give him a funny line at the end.
Tallulah!
Like all he just does is repeat the name. You'd think he'd be like, I don't know, Tallulah. Like, well, that's it.
He's putting the pieces together. What's he gonna say? Oh, I knew Tallulah.
Hey, I thought
No further questions.
The way it ends, though,
Fuck
like
your
it's,
mom. Hope you're not my daughter.
Right?
it's just very weird that like all of his
Oh,
other
boy.
scenes have him saying something like ridiculous at the end, and that one just says Tallulah, Tallulah. Like,
be like, oh, I fucked your mom once.
Yeah. I fucked your mom once, about 20 years... How old are you again? Oh my god, this is Old Boy. Boom, head explodes, he kills himself. You've all seen the Spike Lee movie, right?
But he's already
Spoiler
touching himself, so he
alert.
keeps coming back to life.
Wait, who is supposed to be the director of this movie again?
Neville Dean and Taylor.
Chow Woon Pak or something?
Yeah, the director of the original Old Boy.
He says, stroking his chin smugly.
They make their way out of the shackles, and Jonah Hex finally gets his big showdown with John Malkovich, while Megan Fox tries to stop the guy from launching the detonator, which is a glowing orange.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
okay, what are the orange things?
I have no idea.
From what I could gather from the dubious science in the movie is that they would shoot out like primer shots that would all like poof, 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 poof. They would take places in and around the area you want to destroy. And then when they launched the glowing orange orb, when it hit one of the primer shots, it would then connect to the other ones, thus causing an explosion.
Oh my god, is this what happened to the rest of the Infinity Stones? Were there originally like 700 of them, but
No, that's
people
a
didn't know
Marvel
what they
thing.
were, and then they were just like using them
Trademark.
as like shrapnel explosions?
They're spears containing human souls.
There you go. When Megan Fox showed up in this last bit where she's trying to save stuff, Emma finished her. This is her final quote. "Wow, I really love that dress."
Right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
All little girls want to be hookers and strippers. It's true.
that's why my oldest one really loves Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
See?
Show her Coyote Ugly. She'll love it.
No,
Showgirls too.
oh sure,
Pennies from
her and her
heaven.
mother would probably enjoy watching it. Patty's seen Coyote Ugly a few times.
Haven't we
I mean,
all?
it's only a PG-13.
Yeah. It's great.
It was almost rated R, but they cut the John Goodman dance scene down a little bit.
Just a
and
little bit.
all the blowjobs. They had to cut all the blowjobs.
Just so you only saw the tip of his peen. Tip of peen, PG-13.
So
Talking about
we
Twister
get a
again?
we get the fight that you talked about earlier that keeps cutting back and forth from a legit fight to the Soundgarden video dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Super
Like
distracting.
I said, but this is my theory on what I think they were trying to go for, but they did an awful job executing it. He was getting his redemption.
Oh, I do want to go briefly. We skipped over one little quick thing. Will Arnett's death scene. Because
Oh yeah, he
he-
exploded.
Yeah, so they launch a cannonball at the ship, and then the detonator. But when Will Arnett looks up at it, it's almost like they filmed him and didn't tell him what he was supposed to be reacting to, because he's just like, huh, like there's no reaction whatsoever. And then at the very end of it, he's like, oh, and then the ship like blows up, killing
Look up
everyone on board.
what the hell is that?
Oh,
Shit!
You know what this is like? Is this the ship we built out of dynamite? Fuck.
So Will Arnett is also Deadsville in this movie. Anyway,
And
so yeah,
let's
the
not
fight.
forget the flamethrower.
It was a firefight.
So Jonah eventually sticks Malkovich's head in that fucking wheel thing.
Ears. Yeah.
The detonator gets stuck. It drops down. He blows up, and Jonah Hex and Megan Fox jump out to safety.
Yep.
Hour and 8 minutes into the movie.
And we find out that the fireworks on the 4th of July are just 100 plus year cover up.
And we also go back to Lance Reddick, and he's like, God bless America, or whatever the fuck he says.
Happy 4th of
Happy
July.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They offer him to be the sheriff of America. He says no.
And but he says, as far as I know, countries don't have sheriffs. No, dickweed, but they have marshals.
U.S. Marshals, Tommy Lee Jones.
Exactly, right?
It's a prequel.
Holy shit, Tommy Lee Jones says Turnbull.
Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, that would have actually been super good. I'd be sold.
At least we know he can do the southern accent.
Yeah.
So, CGI Red Sky credits.
Well, no, Jonah goes to visit his buddy Jeb's grave, not his wife or the rest of his families
His
or anything.
son.
His son, anything like that. No, he goes to see his buddy Jeb,
Confederate
who he
buddy.
killed. No big deal.
And they say when a man has a heart full of vengeance, he better dig 2 graves. Well, I guess mine'll just have to wait a little bit longer.
Music by Master Tom.
So that was
Does that
Jonah
mean that
Hex,
Jeb
ladies
was
and
his
gentlemen.
true love?
And we have officially talked longer than the fucking movie is.
Hey, guess what? Shut the fuck up, Steve, because future Brendan's gonna fix that.
No,
No,
I
he's
don't
not.
think he is.
Future Brendan
Au
can't
contraire,
save
fuck
us.
you, future Brendan.
So
Theme
yes,
music.
that was... Shut up.
Temptation sing!
So that's Jonah Hex. So guys, now that we've talked about Jonah Hex, we're gonna take a brief little break here. So we will be right back.
He's very, very wounded and scarred and jaded from his past, and he's shut off. And he's so afraid of loving someone because he can't ever be vulnerable. And then you have Lila, who is in love with him openly, really. And it's sort of the struggle that exists between the two of them for her to try to get him to open up and accept her and love her fully.
Yeah, that's what Jonah Hex is about, motherfuckers.
Boom.
Wow, Brendan, those are the greatest ads that ever added.
In the history of adding.
Right.
Thank you. So that was a word from our sponsor, Megan Fox. But now, I think we're going to get a little cozy here. Set your voices down a couple of nodules and...
Just bring it in real close to the
Nathan?
microphone.
Nathan?
Yes, Brendan.
Steve and Izzy, are you with us as well?
We are with you.
Okay.
Welcome
Okay.
to the haiku.
So, the low
low haiku.
haiku.
So this is where we explain how we felt about this film with 17 syllables.
Syllables of delightfulness.
hmm So, do we all have a low haiku this evening?
I do.
Okay.
I absolutely do.
Well, should we maybe let our guest begin?
Of course, it's the Canadian thing to do.
Okay,
Oh.
Stephen, you may begin with your low haiku.
Oh, well, thank you, gentlemen. Batman in Old West. Woulda, coulda, shoulda been. South will rise again.
Very good, very good. Oh, some snapping for you. Snap fingers, snap fingers, snap fingers. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Nathan?
Yes, I have mine here. Just Jonah Hex, Scarface. Josh Brolin isn't thrashing. Malkovich. No.
Snap fingers, snap fingers, snap fingers, snap fingers, snap fingers. Clap, 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 clap. Ooh, okay. And I guess that just leaves myself. I watched Jonah Hex. Wait, it's over already? Mariah's penis.
Come gather round, children, let me tell you a tale.
Mariah's penis was big as a whale.
The greatest haiku that ever haikued in the history of haikus.
Some say it knew magic, some say but did not know fear. And she didn't know how it got in your ear.
Oh, some say she used it to stick it in your rear. But I don't know the real answer, so I'll just drink my beer.
Bravo, bravo. The fight.
Oh, is that
the
part of the
highest
haiku?
forms
We're
of
still,
Dilly
we're still
dilly.
haikuing? That was the longest haiku that ever haikued in the history of haikuing.
I think it's more of a dirty limerick.
Nathan, didn't haiku used to team with the barbarian a lot?
Haku.
Wrestling.
Racist.
What? Get off my planet. So Nathan, Steve, Izzy, we all felt a certain way about this movie, but Nathan, we always say something around here.
And that is...
Don't take a word for us.
Yeah, don't take our word for it, guys. Let's just check out Rotten Tomatoes right here for Jonah Hex. We have a 12% Rotten Tomatoes rating from the critics. But don't worry, because audiences liked it a lot more. They gave it 20%.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, but I guess I'll just read the first one here. This is from Tom Huddleston, so not Tom Hiddleston.
Hiddleston?
No, Tom Huddleston. Often confused.
Loki?
Often confused with Loki.
I can't believe he
wrestler.
killed me at the beginning of Infinity War. That son of a bitch.
Spoiler!
You spoiler-giving motherfucker.
For the first 3 minutes of the movie?
Nathan hasn't seen it yet, Steve.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Damn it, Nathan! Go with my premise.
Sorry. Damn it, Steve.
Now, okay, pretend he doesn't know that we just said that. You ruined it for Nathan.
Ruiner. That's what you do. You ruin things, you ruiner.
Yeah.
Anyways, what did Loki have to say about this movie?
Okay, so Tom Hiddleston from Avengers Infinity War and Time Out Magazine said, at 81 minutes with credits, Jonah Hex feels crude, lazy, and entirely perfunctory.
Okay.
He gave it a 1 out of 5.
Somebody's got a word of the day calendar.
I know, right? Minutes.
Raffer, not Reefer, Guzman
Please let it be
from
Reefer.
Newsday
Yeah.
says there's just one ingredient missing. Anyone with a clue.
Zing.
I got one. Robbie Collin from News of the World wrote, Jonah Hex, Jonah Rex, Jonah Hacks, Jonah Cax, Jonah Thix, Jonah Crocs, Jonah Sucks.
Why is that a real review?
That's a real review. He scored
my
it 1 out of
lord.
5. Weird.
It sounded so glowing.
Here's one for you guys. Since you guys mentioned it earlier, from Keith Ulick of Time Out as well. Man, Time Out magazine really cornered the market on the reviews of Jonah Hex. All three of you clamoring for a sequel to Wild Wild West have got your wish. 1 out of 5.
Finally.
Cliff Dorkson
Dorkson.
from the Chicago Reader begins affably enough as a random slew of Leon-style squintathons and shootouts, but then loses its way in a dopey, anachronism-happy sci-fi plot. Wow, you thought the other guy had a word of the day calendar.
I've got some terrific audience reviews here.
Oh, do tell.
This one, I think this man is just confused. He says, 1 star. James Brolin plays title character in this confusing adaptation of a DC comic book.
James Bro.
Not James Brolin, but good
Nope.
try.
This one I'm gonna step on. It's from one of our fellow Canadians at the Globe and Mail. Stephen Cole says, calling Jonah Hex a waste of time requires qualification. Given the action flick weighs in at 82 minutes, that is the weirdest assembling of words I have seen. I'm sure the full review might explain it a little bit better, but that is awful.
This audience review says, this was Wild Wild West's relative. Not the sequel, but it's relative.
Relative, yeah. Shared universe.
Yeah.
So that cousin they don't talk about much.
I love this 4-star review that says, oh yeah, liked it, loved it, want some more of it.
Did he try so hard that he can't get above it?
Because it's 72 minutes long.
Right.
Steve and Izzy, any more to add?
I found one of those that I kind of found myself asking. Christian Toto of the What Would Toto Watch? There's a director's cut version of Jonah Hex, right? Because this film feels like a series of bullet points disguised as a feature film.
I can get on board with that review.
Well, this is okay. This is weird because all the ratings are out of 5 stars, right? And this review sounds glowing. It's very short. He just says, "Oh yeah, it's about time DC Comics stepped their game up." 2 stars.
No, he's
So
saying
what?
it's about time they start stepping it up. As in, this movie needs to step it up.
No,
the
I
streets?
think
Time's up, DC.
I think with the "oh yeah" at the beginning, without the "oh yeah," I would believe you, Izzy. But he seems very excited at the beginning.
Is it oh yeah, or is it oh yeah?
Oh yeah, it's about time for DC to step their game up.
Yeah. All capital letters with 2 exclamation marks.
Kool-Aid Man.
So, okay. In short, people did not care for this.
Yeah, this is universally reviled.
I really wish I could find the guy who rates movies out of 100, but I can't find him right now. Last time it was like 41 out of 100. Not bad.
The weirdest
I docked it 2
rating ever.
points because no nudity. Yeah.
I will say there's a lot of Wild Wild West references. Somebody's like, Wild Wild West Part 2. Funny at times, but underrated. What the fuck does that mean?
Do you feel like it was steampunky enough to be Wild Wild West 2?
No.
I think it was gadgety.
What does this mean? Okay, half a star is he gave it 1 star. Half a star is for Megan Fox looking hot. As for the rest of the film, I'm gonna take a thumper.
Did he say he was going to masturbate?
Yeah.
Is that a masturbate or take a shit?
It might be taking a shit. Yeah, thumper.
Is it both?
I think he's saying he's going to rear end a prostitute. I think that's what
Oh,
a
okay.
thumper is.
Somebody said
Oh,
the
that
Lone
would-
Ranger had more legs in this movie.
Wait, let me text Mariah and find out. She knows all about this.
What is a thumper?
Anyway, those are the reviews,
Urban Dictionary.
folks.
No.
Those are the Rotten Tomato reviews. So, having said all that, Steve and Izzy, I don't know if you know this, but we have a new rating system.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Get excited.
We're all professional and whatnot.
So, for this is from top to bottom. So best to worst, okay? So, was this movie wonderful movie magic in the water? Can you not, or I cannot reach a judgment night? This was Captain America, or did this movie make you Nick Furious? Steve.
I would personally say it's Captain America. I had really high hopes going into it. I knew before I went to see it in theaters when they said it was PG-13, I was probably in for a shitstorm. Not quite the Geo shitstorm that we watched, but it could have been better.
Okay. Izzy?
I reject your new system and go with Homer Simpson's. Unfortunately, at this point, I can only give it 7 thumbs up.
7 thumbs up? What the hell does that mean?
Killing our rating system right out of the gate.
They don't call her Izzy the podcast killer for nothing.
If we can use like a, I don't know, the metric conversion, it comes down to I could not make a clear judgment night.
So you're
There you
doing
go. Convert it to Canadian.
wait, so you're giving it the second highest rating?
Izzy is, not me. I'm in Steve's camp here with the Captain America.
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm somewhere between Nick Furious and Captain America. I gave Suicide Squad to Nick Furious, but this one was at least 72 minutes long, so it had that going for it.
And it had Mastodon on the soundtrack.
I think if they had had the chance to explore some of the stuff that they were going for with a little more time, I think it might have actually been a good movie.
Maybe-
Or at least decent.
You're right. We need a Jonah Hex reboot.
Yeah.
How about a director that didn't only do animated kids movies?
That would have been a good start.
But hey, you know what? It's been great, guys and
Absolutely.
gals. Steve and Izzy, thank you again so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for having
Always.
us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Where can we find you?
Oh, well, you can find us at the Everything I Learned from Movies podcast at eilfm.podbean.com. We're also on all those podcatchers. We're on Spotify, Podcast Addict. What's the other one? Stitcher, iTunes / Apple iPods. Jonah Hexcast. But you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at EILF Movies. And if you're looking for some great art, my wife Izzy has an amazing Etsy page at untidyvenus.etsy.com.
That's a goddess who's bad at housekeeping.etsy.com, and I have all kinds of fun. I've got movie monsters who love kittens. I've got Pokemans. I painted every single American dog breed, and it almost killed me.
And if it would have, Steve would have just held your hand and talked to you every day.
It's true. Or maybe he would have played me this song.
Cut!
You're gonna cost us $100.
What? I can't hear you over the music.
I'm just walking the dinosaur.
I can feel my bank account emptying.
It's already pretty empty.
It's actually not bad right now. So,
where can we find you guys?
Hold on, everyone. Just hold for a hot fucking second.
Montrose Monkington.
No, I haven't given the hint for the next movie.
Ooh.
Okay?
So, Nathan.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, we're gonna... Well, next week we'll have a mini episode.
Right?
In 2 weeks, we're doing our next movie in our Summer Flopbuster series.
Yes.
So what is your hint for our next Summer Flopbuster?
My hint for the next Summer Flopbuster is... That's what I think about that.
There we have it. Okay.
So now... You can check out Montrose Monkington III by checking out Montrose Monkington TV. Get away from my... Whoa,
oh, no.
What? You know what? I will let you do this sort of thing for your mini-sodes, as they call them, but I will not let you do it for the main. I am Montrose Monkington III, Esquire, from Bananashire upon Hempton, in the great country of England. Please do feel free to check out my YouTube channel, Montrose Monkington TV, as well as my Facebook page, Montrose Monkington III, Esquire, and Friends. And you can also follow me on Twitter, at Montrose III. That's the number 3, RD. You can keep up with this delightfully British chimp puppet. Thank you. More later.
So, Brendan, Nathan, where can we find your podcast?
Oh, thanks for asking, Izzy.
I don't know. Fucking ask Brendan. I don't follow that shit.
Okay. Have a good night, everybody.
No, wait.
Well, wait.
You can follow us at WWTT Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search What Were They Thinking. We also have a Facebook group, What Were They Thinking Interactive, where, you can ask us questions. You can give us shit. You can talk about how Steve and Izzy are insane California crackheads.
I'm still waiting on that water, Takashi.
I want my gummy bears.
At least we didn't ask them how to get somewheres.
No, we're not bringing that up. And
if you just take 80, you can go east or west till you hit the 101. If you go west,
God damn it!
What are you doing here?
So, you can also find us on pretty much any podcatcher. Our main home base, I guess, is Podbean, but you can also find us on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called. Spotify, Stitcher, Teddy Ruxpin, Al Jazeera, Al Qaeda, whatever you want, all that stuff.
Do you guys validate parking?
We do.
That is it for our plugs. Actually, you know what? We also have a Redbubble store. Just search for us on Redbubble, and we have Blocked by Bull shirts.
Yeah, buy a shirt. Come on.
Ooh, what kind of other merch is there in your Redbubble?
Well, we have Blocked by Bull, and we also have our regular What Were They Thinking logo shirts. And you can also get, mugs and, all kinds of different apparel.
Can you get a flask?
Can you get a flask? Probably. I don't know.
Take a look. It's Redbubble. They're great.
Redbubble.com/people/WWTT podcast. So having said all that, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions
A couple.
End us off.
Where's my water, Takashi?
Other than, where, Mini Steve's water is, I, again, talk to Brenda, because...
Is that the name of his penis?
Mini Steve?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, his penis
I don't know.
is called Goliath. Mini Steve is his other personality.
I think she named it that just to stroke the ego more than
I stroke
anything
more
else.
than his ego.
I usually call it the super ego, but...
You stroke his leg, too? So, Nathan, you have questions.
In a movie where Josh Brolin has a butthole on his cheek and Megan Fox is supposed to be a strong female character and Malkovich is doing something, that's not a southern accent, but something, and Aidan Quinn is the president and Luke Duke is in there for some reason. I mean, with a movie that's mixed up with all that sort of stuff, and they only give it 73 minutes to breathe, I really have to ask, Brendan, what were they thinking?
I found out what the thumper is. It's the hole in Josh Brolin's face.
It's time, let's check our cue, baby. Pair it with a couple brews, baby. We love good movies. We love the bad ones too. So we watch them all and pass their lessons on to you. Oh yeah. Everything I learned from movies helps to make life a little bit groovy. Whether one likes plot holes or gratuitous movies, it's time to get busy with your friend Steve and Izzy.
At eilfm.podbean.com.
Hi, I'm Ellen, and I'm scared we exist in the Matrix.
I'm Jaslyn, and I'm bad at ad-libbing.
And you're listening to High Expectations, the promo. For our international listeners, you can appreciate our cute New Zealand accents. For our local listeners, you might bump into us in the street 3 times in the same hour. Our podcast is about pop culture,
sexuality,
relationships,
interesting hobbies,
banter, and ragging on each other.
You can find us on
Apple Podcasts,
SoundCloud,
Pocket Casts,
Podcast Addict,
or anywhere you might like to find podcasts.
Yay, please subscribe.
Goodbye.
Hey, do you like movies? Hey, do you like podcasts? If you do, then come on down and listen to the Home Video Hustle podcast, homie. Hustle. Every Friday, we talk about whatever movie PJ picks out the bag. What does that mean? Well, every Wednesday on our YouTube page, I pick a bunch of movies at random. Sometimes there's a theme to it, sometimes not. PJ picks the movie out, and guess what? We watch it on Friday. We talk about it for about maybe an hour and a half, whatever we feel like doing. Might give you something good to watch, baby. Come on down every Friday.
So come get your hustle on with Home Video Hustle.
You can find the show on any podcatcher app, or you can come down to homevideohustle.podbean.com. All of them in one place for you, so you can go ahead and binge it like it's Netflix. We ain't the Defenders, but I like to think we a little bit better than that. Come holler at your boys, man. Come chill with us. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brendan here from What Were They Thinking? Before we let you go, we just wanted to let you know that during the recording, we picked up a little argument that transpired between Montrose Monkington III and, of course, his father, Montrose Monkington Jr. Just keep in mind the views of both Simeons do not necessarily reflect those of myself or of Nathan or of Steve or Izzy. So please enjoy this little conversation.
And you can find me at Montrose Monkington Jr.
Father?
Hello, son. I'm here in California, where I retired with Steve and Izzy.
Well, good. I hope an earthquake gets you.
That's awfully gauche.
Well, what you did at the last family gathering was incredibly gauche.
We all tossed off feces, son.
Yes, but I had the dignity not to have peanuts in mine, good sir.
You and your
Good day. Good day to you, sir.
you and your Atkins diet.
I said good day.
Fare thee well for now. Brendan, you leave this shit in.